Hello everybody, and welcome to day 47 of the road to 2K on chess.com. Today we're sitting at 1871 and we're one game off of our returning to our peak. So it looks like today we're going to get that chance against a 1938 from the Philippines. So after e4 we're going to play our trusty Caro-Kann, see what we can't do. Bunch of different lines here. We'll see what they want to play. And they're going to go for an advanced pan or accelerated Panov. So the accelerated Panov is an opening that plays off of this pawn being isolated. And when they play this pawn up, we might actually have a chance to transpose into a weird, essentially like advanced Caro-Kann position. Now in this position, I kind of like the move queen to b6 to try and give our opponent a chance to play this move here. So we can play our bishop out and then play e6. I never prefer to bring the light square bishop out if I don't have to in these types of positions, just because it does get kind of ugly on d7. Now, the other reason we play queen b6 is we put more pressure on this pawn, and we also put pressure on this pawn here. So a common move here is bishop e3, which is no longer possible due to queen captures b2. But it's funny, with these types of games, I always get a little bit antsy with regards to playing when I'm getting close to my peak, because it does stress me out a little bit I don't know what it is about playing for a new peak, but it always just makes me anxious. If I play queen here, and our opponent plays bishop out, I think we just have takes. So we're going to play queen captures d4. We're covering everything, and we should be up a clean pawn. Obviously, the e-pawn is hanging, and it's not the easiest thing to defend either. Our opponent goes for a push. This is now threatened. If we take, I don't see the easiest way for our opponent to take it. If we go queen back, queen blocks. Do we have anything? Not yet. Obviously, if we don't take, we might run into moves like this. I wasn't expecting that move. I mean, queen to e4 is obviously a consideration. Knight to h6, bishop captures, pawn captures, queen captures, checkmate in a few moves, or at least substantial loss of material. Queen over, queen takes, pawn takes check, king up. Isn't so bad. We do have the doubled e-pawns, and they're isolated at the end of that line. Queen check. Knight in. Knight in attacks the queen and it defends this pawn. So I don't hate that move. Let's go with that. Knight e5. Our opponent takes. I think here, if we take back, the bishop comes in. Queen, pawn over. King obviously can't capture. So we're going to take knight captures f7 check. I fully expect bishop captures b5 as our opponent's next move. King d8 is forced. And it does look like we've gotten ourselves in a little bit of a sticky situation here. My mouse just died, which is obviously not ideal. We're going to try and turn that off and turn it back on. I guess if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong in this situation. And now my mouse is like extra sensitive, which is really, really annoying, actually. So let's play this second knight out, knight to f6, giving another defender. I expect our opponent might play bishop to e3, and I'm really not used to my mouse being this sensitive, so I do apologize ahead of time if I complain about it. If I come up, our opponent has sacrificial ideas. If I play up here, bishop takes, knight takes, pawn takes. And I think we're just down a full piece there. So we do have to be a bit careful. If we just go straight back one, that might be our only move. And, I mean, we are now threatening d4, but d4 fails to rook over. And there that comes. Now there's many attackers on that pawn. If I go pawn up, queen over to the corner. And I can't go here yet, so let's just play e6. And our opponent has really found a lot of compensation for this attack, which is unfortunate. Let's play bishop to d6, creating a mate threat. And I'm trying really, really hard not to hang anything on accident. But I am a bit concerned, and our opponent just hangs checkmate. So, quite a lackluster way to get to a new peak. But I don't want to leave a peak game out of the series, so we're going to leave this one in there. Let's go ahead, let's look at the game review and see how we actually did. Because I think one thing we can agree on was this was not a great game by us. We played with a 73.4, but our opponent played with a 60. In today's date, e4, c6, e4, c6, c4, d5. And all of this is fairly booked. Now, e5 is a bit of a weird move because it does transpose to more of our Caro-Kann, Panov, or advanced position like we were talking about in the game. After d4, queen b6, knight f3. So if we actually take a half step back here, and we imagine we get to this position, it's like our opponent played an advanced Caro-Kann, where they played knight out. We chose to, or they played, I'm sorry. If they play c3, takes, knight out, knight f6, and bishop g4. And now if we take this position and we jump right to where we were, we see the only difference is now we have exactly where we were, where the knight hasn't come out yet. But queen to b6, knight f3, bishop g4, a3, and we immediately take the pawn. Now, we probably should have played e6 first and not gotten greedy, because they still can't move the bishop, so e6, bishop out fails to queen captures b2. And it looks like in that position it would say play the knight out first, at which we still win our pawn. Our opponent can still play a move like bishop to f4, or I have to imagine even bishop to e3, but then we do take this second pawn. Our opponent plays e6, which is best. Knight to e5 was incorrect. We looked at this check here, and what I didn't like is after queen takes, pawn takes, this check, and our king ends up on f2. we have these doubled E-pawns, which are going to be very tough to move. And already you can see the entire advantage is gone. It's plus 0.17. Instead, the engine says to play this check here, imagining that the opponent blocks with the bishop and then we take the pawn. And if they block with the queen, I think we still take the pawn, allow them to take here. And then at least we have some center presence with our pawns. Yes, this dark square bishop is going to be difficult to develop, but we probably play g6 and bishop g7 at some point. In here, after the knight move, our opponent finds e captures f7 first. Knight captures f7, which was incorrect. It wants us to come to the side, which feels really weird to me by giving up the knight. And I don't fully understand what the big difference is here. Oh, I'm sorry. We do have knight check first, and then we take back, and we're up the material. So that's completely on me. I'm not seeing the board well tonight. But after knight captures f7, bishop b5, king d8, knight c3 was wrong. Our opponent did have this hanging knight, and we're just going to count our blessings in this game and say that our opponent didn't find it. So knight f6, bishop e3, queen e5, rook d1, e6, castles, bishop d6. And after bishop to d4, we just punish our opponent. Obviously, not a great game by either one of us. But these games are going to happen, and sometimes it's just nice to come out on the better end of it. So thank you so much for all your support in the series. If you have comments on how I've been playing or comments on how I can improve the videos, definitely let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, especially because we just hit a new peak. And if go ahead and check below. Make sure you've already subscribed so you don't miss any of my future videos. And I will see you guys on the next day.